with us tonight. It's been a while, but we're happy he's back. So
thank you.
Yeah.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarad Hari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarad Hari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarad Hari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nitya Nanda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasa Adigor Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you for nicely responding. Very good. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. My spiritual master, as was mentioned, accepted me in April of 1974. He opened my darkened eyes with the torchlight of transcendental knowledge. So, although I was born in the darkness of ignorance, My spiritual master has given me transcendental vision. Trinadapi sunichena tarar api sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends that devotees should wear this mantra around the neck for constant remembrance. It is, to me, the essence of transcendental knowledge. That I first of all must be meek and humble. I must be more tolerant than the tree. I have to give respect to everyone because Krishna is in everyone's heart. And I cannot be concerned with how people think of me or what they say. Shouldn't matter. If I can do these four things, then I can always easily chant the holy name. And why should I do that? Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Namaiva Kevalam, Kalo Nastyeva Nastyeva, Nastyeva Gatir Anyata. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he received Harinam Diksha from his guru Ishwarapuri, Ishwarapuri told him, do not waste your time studying Vedanta Sutra. You should simply chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. That's all you should do. And if you do that, you will get shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. Hare Nama, the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One more thing. I'd like to offer respects to all of you because you are devotees. You come to this temple. As soon as you enter, you signify, I am devotee. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanang pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So today is Mother's Day. So Prabhupada, quoting Chanakya Pandit many times, would say that an educated, cultured man views all women, except his wife, as mother. So, ladies, you're my mother. Happy Mother's Day. But tonight, we're going to hear about 8 mothers. Prabhu, Vedas say 7. I found an 8th. Just let me make my case and then you judge. So here is a Vedic mantra. Atma Mata Guru Patni Brahmani Raja Patnika Dhenurdhatri Tata Prithvi Saptaita Matara Smritaha. So in the Vedas, these are the 7 mothers. Atma Mata, the mother who gave you birth, which in America, that's who they're taking out to lunch or dinner or whatever. Atma, your birth mother. But then there is Guru Patni, the wife of a teacher or the wife of a spiritual master. She's also mother. Brahmani, the wife of a Brahmana. Raja Patnika, the king's wife, the queen mother. One of the best. Dhenu, cow. Yes. Datari, the nurse. And number 7, Prithvi, the earth. And there is a connection because when Mother Earth was distressed 5,000 years ago, she assumed the form of a cow. Mother Earth assumed the form of a cow and approached the Creator, Lord Brahma, with tears in her eyes. And she explained, I am feeling overburdened because of the military-industrial complex. Yes, It was there 5,000 years ago. Kamsa had made an alliance, a United Nations of demons 5,000 years ago. There is a description of Kamsa that he was so powerful, the most powerful demon. He even defeated Indra. That's how powerful was this Kamsa. And he subjugated all the other demons on earth. And they all became his servant. So Mother Earth came to Lord Brahma with tears in her eyes. I cannot take this burden created by the asuras, the demons. Do something, help me. Lord Brahma could understand, no, this is above my head. We have to go to my boss. His boss, Lord Krishna, in his form, in this case, specifically, Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, who resides on the white island, Shweta-dweep, in the white ocean of milk. So they went there. They offered prayers. What is that prayers they offered? Purusha Sukta, standard prayers. They offered the Purusha Sukta, but seemingly there was no response from the Lord. Then Brahma sat in meditation and he got a text message in his heart. And that text message was, all of you devatas, all of you demigods, you should immediately expand yourself and take birth in the Yadu dynasty, because I am coming. Not I, my original, the Adi Purush, the Purna Bhagavan, Sri Krishna, is coming, and he will take care of all these demons. So that is the opening of the 10th canto. But Mother Earth assumed the form of a cow. So, now, number 8. Mother Vedas. Now, is that my concoction? No. This is what Prabhupada, your spiritual master, says. Prabhupada is, when you come to this ISKCON, Prabhupada becomes everyone's guru. Shiksha guru. Everybody is under Prabhupada. So Prabhupada writes on this. Here's directly Prabhupada's either speaking or writing. I'm not sure. The Vedas are called Veda Mata, or Mother Vedas, because the knowledge imparted therein is like that knowledge received from the mother. We have to believe in order to acquire knowledge, for there is no possibility of acquiring this transcendental knowledge by experimenting with our imperfect senses. So one birth is by the father and mother. The next birth is by the spiritual father and the Vedic knowledge. This is second birth, initiation. The spiritual father or spiritual master gives the second birth through the mother, Vedas. Therefore, they are known as Dvija, twice born. And then there is a quote by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One time he was instructing, and he quoted this particular verse. When the mother, Vedas, Shruti, is questioned as to whom to worship, she says that you are the only Lord and worshipable object. Similarly, the corollaries of the Shruti Shastras, known as the Smriti Shastris, give the same instructions, just like sisters. The Puranas, which are like brothers, follow in the footsteps of their mother. O enemy of the demon Muras, and now we know who this prayer is being addressed to. Murari, Lord Krishna, who defeated one demon called Mura demon. In fact, I just gave a class on last Wednesday on this Mura demon. So that's one of Krishna's names, Murari. The conclusion is that you are the only shelter. And now I have understand this in truth. Okay, so there are 3 special days coming up this week. This is a very spiritually energized week, ending on Saturday. Let's go to Saturday. Saturday is Nrisingha Chaturdashi, the appearance of Nrisingha Bhagavan. Then, 2 days before that, Rukmini-Dvadashi. And then a day before that, Mohini-Akadashi. So I'd like to speak on those 3 things with your permission. All in favor say Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Very good. I've got my audience. You're not sleeping. Because you got to be dynamic. You got to be dynamic. You can't just go, then the audience goes, okay. So let's talk about Mohini-Akadashi. So millions and millions and millions of years ago, as we learned so many times, there was a big war between the demons and the demigods. And the fighting was, and that brings to mind. Sometimes we think, oh, I want to go to the heavenly planets, but you have to fight the demons. So there's no permanent enjoyment in the material world. Even you're a demigod like Indra, you still have the nasty demons causing you problems. So Lord Vishnu, who always helps out the demigods, he told the demigods, okay, this is what you do. Go to the demons and make a truce. And tell them that now we're going to not fight. We're going to work together and we're going to churn the ocean of milk. And by churning the ocean of milk, we will get the elixir of immortality. I would sign up for that in a second. Elixir, I wouldn't have to worry about insurance premiums. Elixir of immortality, sign me up. So they made a truce. We will work together to churn the ocean of milk. So, first of all, you need a churning rod. So there's this great mountain, Sumero, Mandara, and it's made of gold, kind of heavy. So they're going to use that as the churning rod. So as the demons and demigods are trying to bring the Mandara Parvat, it's so heavy, their limbs get broken, they can't do it. Lord Vishnu comes on the back of Garuda and easily picks it up. Boom. And they take the mountain to the shore of the ocean of milk. That's how powerful Lord Vishnu is. He's inconceivably powerful. And so is Garuda. If he's able to fly, Lord Vishnu, carrying a golden mountain, Garuda must. That's why you will see sometimes the word Bhagavan is used in describing Garuda. He's on that platform, godly platform, all powerful. So they put the golden mountain into the ocean, and what do you think happened? It sank. Oh, how are we going to churn the ocean of milk? Krishna again comes through. He comes in the form of Mohini-avatara, Lord Tortoise. And he has an itching sensation that he needs scratched. So they put the golden mountain on the back of Akurma Rupa, and by the churning, he gets relief from the itching. But now we need a churning rod. So they select Vasuki, the great serpent, powerful serpent. Now, Lord Vishnu warned the demigods before anything. Now listen, demigods. When this churning begins, many things are going to be produced. Do not get greedy. Stay focused. Be patient. If you follow my instructions, you will come out with the nectar. So, and also, Lord Vishnu is so smart. I love it. Lord Vishnu leads the demigods, and they go to the head of Vasuki. And the demons are thinking, now the demon mentality is conniving, cheating, suspicion. The demons are saying, wait a second. If Lord Vishnu took the head, that must be more auspicious. No, we want the head. Lord Vishnu said, thank you very much. So the demons thought, oh, we have outsmarted them. So demigods took the tail. The demons took the head. They asked for it. So Vasuki is wrapped around the mountain, and demons and demigods are pulling. And by pulling each way, the mountain is churning. The milk ocean is starting to churn. But the silly demons, Vasuki being pulled, imagine if you were being stretched. Vasuki is practically dying. And so fumes and fire and smoke, where is it coming? From his mouth. And the demons are getting all that carbon dioxide or whatever, pollutants. They're just getting burnt and scorched. They asked for it. Okay. So they're churning. All of a sudden, poison comes and it's swallowing up the whole universe. Nobody knows what to do. So the great sages and rishis, they approached Lord Shiva. And they said, oh, Mahadev, you please save us from this poison. It's filling up the whole universe. Lord Shiva, this is important, men, husbands, listen up. Lord Shiva asked his wife's permission. I know you don't like me saying that. But take a good hint. Before taking on this big task, he asked permission. Now, Bhavani, she knows how powerful her husband is. She said, yes, whoa, save the universe. So Lord Shiva appeared, and he took all the poison and shrunk it in his palm. And just like we take charanamrita, he swallowed the poison and kept it in his throat. And the poison got angry. So the poison left 3 lines in defamation. Therefore, one of Lord Shiva's names, Nilakanta. Yes, 3 lines. Now, some drops, when he was, because you know what happens when you take charanamrita. It spills on your clothes, unless you're very expert. You have the right. But me, if I take charanamrita, it gets all over me. So some drops fell. And who took those drops? Snakes, scorpions, all kinds of poisonous kinds of living entities. They took that. Okay, more things. Now the churning is going on. And more things are being produced. Lakshmi comes out of the churning. And Lakshmi's looking at the demigods and the demons, and she's thinking, nah, demigods, no. No. Then she sees Lord Vishnu. Aha! There is somebody worth taking shelter of. She rejects all the demigods, what to speak of the demons, and she accepts Lord Vishnu, who, of course, accepts her. And then, what happens? The goddess of drunkards appears. Her name is Varuni. That's the name of my wife. But she's no goddess of drunkards. But she is the goddess, and Lord Vishnu said, yes, let the demons take her. Because demons like wine and liquor, and yes, they like that kind of stuff. Not you. I know you don't. But demons like liquor and wine and whiskey. They think that's nectar. Yes. So the demons get the goddess Varuni, then Airavata, the elephant of Indra. Indra takes Airavata. And other things are produced till finally a great, beautiful personality comes. And he's carrying a kalash. You know what a kalash is? A big pot, nice pot. And he has the nectar of immortality in the pot. Dhanvantari is Bhagavan. He is an expansion incarnation of Krishna. And so he brings this elixir of immortality, and what happens? The demons snatch it. None for you, demigods. It's for us. Now, because they're demons, one thing a demon cannot do, cooperate. So now they're fighting. Hey, I did most of the churning. I should get the nectar first. What are you talking about? You didn't do anything. I want it. So they're fighting and arguing. Who's going to get the first nectar? All of a sudden, meanwhile, the demigods are going, huh? Vishnu, you told us. Chill, man, chill. So Lord Vishnu then transforms himself to look like the most beautiful, voluptuous, enchanting woman. Her name is Mohini. Everybody say. Mohini. I said everybody. Mohini. Thank you. Mohini. Very name means she who bewilders. So she appeared amidst the demons, and when the demons saw her, they're, wow. So the demons said, okay, we'll let her decide who should get the nectar. Stupid demons. So Mohini-Murti starts to joke with the demons. Why are you trusting me? I'm like a prostitute. I have no shelter. I have no husband. I'm just like that. And the demigods thought, oh, she's just playing with us. So Mohini said, all right, I will settle your dispute, but on one condition. You have to agree with whatever I say. Anyone who knows legal contracts, that kind of contract, But they're demons, stupido, less intelligent, and now completely bewildered by Mohini. Completely bewildered. They go, yeah, whatever you decide, we'll accept. So now Mohini, now keep in mind, Mohini-Murti is Vishnu. She's not Lakshmi. She's Vishnu in that form. Okay, she's Vishnu. She has all the powers of Vishnu, but she's disguising as a beautiful, alluring woman. So Mohini-Murti says, okay, demons, let's just give a little bit to the demigods. Let's be nice. Let's play nice. We'll give the demigods just a little bit, and most of it will be for you. So the demons already agreed, yeah, whatever you said, so they can't go back now. So Mohini-Murti starts to give out the nectar to all the demigods. Meanwhile, the demons are waiting and waiting and waiting, and they're not getting a drop. Finally, Rahu says, I know what's going on here. Rahu disguises himself to look like a demigod and sits between Surya and Chandra, the moon and sun god. Now Mohini-Murti, I remember I said she's Vishnu. So she knows this is not a demigod, that this is Rahu. So Mohini Murti wants to show something. So Mohini Murti starts to pour the nectar into Rahu's mouth, and as soon as it touches his mouth, Mohini Murti brings out the Sudarshan Chakra. Remember, I told you she's Vishnu, and she cuts off the head of Rahu. Now, the body didn't touch the nectar, the body died, and some say that that became the astrological planet Ketu. Meanwhile, Rahu, because the head touched the nectar, the head stayed alive. And so now Rahu is considered one of the planets, because Mohini Murti wanted to show the effects of this nectar. So then again, and then Mohini Murti revealed herself, I am Vishnu. And so there's a big fight on the shore of the ocean of milk, because the demons had been cheated, the demigods got all the nectar, and who do you think won? Nobody knows. The demigods won. Why? Because Lord Vishnu always helps the demigods. And one of the demons that was killed, his name was Kalanemi. And Kalanemi took his next birth as somebody I already mentioned, Kamsa. Because when Narada came to see Kamsa, Narada said, oh, Kamsa, do you know that in your previous life you were a demon and you were killed by Vishnu and your name was Kalanemi? Oh, and by the way, Kamsa, Vishnu is coming again to kill you this time. He's coming in the form of Krishna. So that's when Kamsa woke up and decided to kill all of Devaki's children, one after another, Because Narada also said, well, you know, Kamsa, I wouldn't trust the oracle that you heard. You know, any one of Devaki's children might be, you know, your nemesis. So that's when Kamsa decided, okay. So Devaki gave birth to 6 sons, each one Kamsa killed. So after all of this, after some time, Lord Shiva was sitting with his wife, Uma, because she has many names, Parvati, Uma, Bhavani, so many different names of Goddess Durga. So Lord Shiva was talking to Uma, and Lord Shiva was thinking about that Mohini Murti incarnation. So Lord Shiva and Uma, they went to Lord Vishnu. And of course, as is the custom, you offer prayers of worship, and then you make a request. So Lord Shiva worshipped Lord Vishnu, and he said, now, my Lord, I am very, very happy in my spiritual life. I'm very satisfied. But I'm very curious to see that Mohini form that you previously displayed. I'd like to see that. And Lord Vishnu said, okay, but don't blame me what happens. So all of a sudden, Lord Vishnu disappears. And Shiva's looking like this. All of a sudden, he sees this beautiful woman bouncing a ball and playing with her hair, bouncing and playing. And Lord Shiva becomes completely fixated, even in front of Uma. Because remember, Mohini Murti is not Lakshmi or Shakti. She's Vishnu, playing that role. So Lord Shiva runs after this Mohini, and he's chasing after her until finally he realizes, I have met my match. I have met my match. And so Mohini Murti then turns back to Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu says, well, you asked to see my form, Are you satisfied now? And Lord Shiva says, my Lord, now I am completely convinced of your supremacy. Because nobody else can bewilder me like you. So I am so glad to be defeated by you. Because, Lord Shiva, we have this statement in the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Vaishnavanam yata Shambhu. The greatest Vaishnava, the greatest devotee is Lord Shiva. In another place, Lord Shiva was telling his wife, Parvati, I chant this name Ram. Everybody. Ram. This side. Come on. Ram. You're falling asleep here. Everybody. Ram. There we go. So, Lord Shiva told Parvati, I chant this name Ram, 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 and I derive so much bliss from this holy name. Only 2 syllables. Ra, m, Ra, m. 2 syllables. I simply chant and meditate on this. I get so much ecstasy. And we see in the mantra that Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya have given us, Ram's name is there, as well as Krishna. Because Lord Shiva told his wife that if I say this name Ram, everybody? Ram. That is equal to chanting Vishnu Sahasranam. 1,000 names, which takes 20, 30. For me, it would probably take an hour to read Vishnu Sahasranam. But how long? Time it. Ram. Anybody time it? It's a nanosecond. You get the same benefit. And when we chant the Mahamantra, look how many times? 4 times Ram. And then there's another verse. If you chant Ram 3 times, everybody 3 times, Ram. You get the same benefit by 1 utterance of Krishna. Oh, come on. Whoosh. I think you need prasadam. That's what I think. Yes, I'll stop at 7. Don't worry, because I'm also hungry. So this name Krishna is equal to 3 times the name of Ram. So just see, sometimes people say, why is this called the Mahamantra? Yes, I just explained one way. It is filled with so much potency. All right, that's Mohini, and now we have Rukmini Dwadasi. So, Krishna only married 16,108 wives. That's all. But the first 8 were very, very special because he got 16,100 wholesale one time. He made a good deal. But the first 8, they were very special the way Krishna. And the first one was Rukmini. And Rukmini was so beautiful, and she heard from Narada Muni and other rishis. She would always hear about the exploits, the qualities, the attributes of Krishna. And Rukmini was a young girl, and she decided, after hearing so much about Krishna, she decided, I'm not going to marry anyone other than Krishna. And if I have to take 100 births, I don't care. I must get Krishna as my husband. That's what we call determination. So, Rukmini, however, her elder brother, Rukmi, didn't like Krishna, despised Krishna. So he went behind the scenes and he arranged her marriage with his friend Shishupal, another big demon, Shishupal. And Rukmini's father gave in to Rukmi because he's the eldest son, and that's how things are. That's how it is. Eldest son gets rules. So Rukmini didn't freak out. She said, I gotta use my intelligence here. She's a daughter of a king, so she uses her intelligence. So she writes a letter, and she gives this letter to a nice brahmana. Just picture, just for the sake. Here we have Balaram, brahmachari, and brahmana. So imagine Balaram Das here going with a letter to, would you like that service, Balaram? Yes. You get to see Rukmini and you get to see Krishna. Your life is successful. So Rukmini writes this letter, gives it to a brahmana, and tells the brahmana, bring this to Krishna. That's long distance, hundreds of miles. So the brahmana arrives in Krishna's Dwaraka, and the brahmana gives the letter to Krishna, and Krishna says, yes, I have also been thinking about this Rukmini, and I also want her very much. I want her. So Rukmini's letter said, you got to come right now because my marriage is happening. Within 1 or 2 days, you must come. So nothing is impossible for Krishna. Krishna and the Brahman, they have this express, Krishna's chariot. He arrives on the day. And there was a whole thing that Rukmini outlined in her letter, when to come. So she told Krishna exactly how to carry her off, kidnap her, so that there would not be unnecessary bloodshed. So, the day of her marriage, the custom is she goes with elderly ladies and some consorts, and they go to the temple of Ambika, yet another name of goddess Durga. And when she goes to the temple of goddess Ambika, what's her prayer? Oh Devi, oh Mother, please arrange my marriage with Krishna. So, as Rukmini is coming out of the temple, she's looking, and then she sees Krishna. Now, she had never seen Krishna, but by the description, she could figure, that has to be. So, Krishna then comes on his chariot, takes Rukmini by the hand, puts her on her chariot, and runs off. The hero, Lord Sri Krishna. Meanwhile, Shishupal's going, what? What? Shishupal didn't even chase Krishna. What a chump. He just, what? So then Jarasandha, one of Shishupal's friends, he said, yes, I have dealt 18 times with this Krishna. 17 times he wiped out my whole army. But the 18th time he ran away. Yeah, you idiot. He ran away because he knew he wanted to marry Rukmini. He didn't run away because he was afraid of you. He already defeated you 17 times. But Krishna knew, oh, Rukmini's about to contact me, so I got no time for this Jarasandha. I'd make a good movie, right? So, Jarasandha says, okay, Shishupal, we'll take care of it. So Jarasandha and so many other kings and princes, oh, I forgot to say, when Rukmini came out of the temple, she was so beautiful that those who were sitting on their horses fell off. Whoa! That's how beautiful she was. These big kings and their big buff arms. But when they saw Rukmini, they fell off their horse. So Jarasandha and so many others, they chased after Krishna. Balaram said, no problemo. Balaram came and took care of all the armies. And Krishna and Rukmini drove off. But then Rukmini's brother Rukmi said, I can't take this. I'm not going to tolerate this. Because meanwhile, Jarasandha, they all came back. And they said, we were defeated. Shishupal, it's your own problem. We're out of here. So Rukmi said, nah, I'm not coming back until I bring my sister back. And if I'm not successful, I'm not returning home. So Rukmi chased after Krishna, and Krishna shot one arrow and then another arrow, killed his driver, killed the horse. And finally, Rukmi was captured and tied up by Krishna. And Krishna was thinking about killing him. And Rukmini, she fell at Krishna's feet. No, 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 no. Don't hurt my brother. He meant well. He only wanted what he thought was a good match for me. Don't. So Krishna said, okay. But then Krishna took his sword and he snipped here, there, snip, snip, because a Kshatriya has to look paka. So Krishna had disfigured him, disgraced him, humiliated him by doing this. So Rukmi, he kept his word. When he was let go, Rukmi did not return home. He set up a new kingdom called Bojakata. And there's another pastime, but that's for another Sunday. So make sure you come back. Someday I may talk about it. And then there's another pastime when Krishna wanted to play a joke on Rukmini. Because Rukmini, she is the ideal wife. So humble and submissive and whatever Krishna, she's just so perfect. But with other wives, especially Satyabhama, the relationship is very feisty. Just like with my wife. My relationship, my wife is not a Rukmini. There's two kinds of wives, Rukmini wives and Satyabhama wives. You can ask yourself which kind of wife you're married to. So, Krishna, with his other queens, he'll joke with them and he wants to get them angry. And Krishna enjoys when the wife gets angry. You nonsense, Krishna. But Rukmini was so submissive. She never, whatever Krishna did, she was just, so Krishna said, I gotta get her angry. So Krishna started to deprecate himself, saying to Rukmini, you know, you could have married Shishupal. You could have married so many kings. You married me, and previously I was a cowherder boy. And Krishna went on and on to say, well, you know, although I was the son of Nanda and Yashoda, I could have stayed and inherited my father's whole kingdom of cows, but I have nothing. And even here in Dwarka, I'm not the king. Ugrasena's king. So, Rukmini, you could have done better. And Rukmini, it's not too late. Now, by this time, they already had grandchildren. Okay? Because Krishna, although he only had 16,108 wives, with each wife he had 10 sons and 1 daughter. And those 10 sons also had 10 sons. Talk about a joint family. That's the Yadu dynasty. So Krishna at this time had grandchildren. And Krishna was saying to Rukmini, you know, it's not too late. You can divorce me and marry one of these great princes. So Rukmini is hearing all this stuff and she's like, what? She faints. Krishna was expecting that she would get angry and chastise him. No, she faints. Oh, this is the exact opposite of what Krishna wanted. So Krishna now assumes 4 arms because Krishna can do that. He can manifest 2, 4, 1,000, whenever he wants. So he manifests 4 arms, picks up Rukmini, strokes her head, her hair, wipes the tears, and Rukmini's looking at him, and Krishna's saying, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you. My other wives, when I talk like this, they get angry, but you're so wonderful, you tolerated everything. Therefore, you're my best wife. He said that. You are my best wife, and I will always be under you. Okay, so finally, Nrisingha Chaturdashi. And you're having a big festival on Saturday or Sunday? When's the festival? Saturday? Yeah. So Nrisingha Chaturdashi, there's so much you can say about Lord Nrisingha. In fact, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10 chapters of the 7th canto are dedicated to Nrisingha leela, because it's an important leela, one of the Dasha avatars. We sing at the end of every kirtan, Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare. Everybody, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare. So, the Nrisingha leela, actually, two are connected. First is Varaha, because Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha were the first demons in the universe. So Hiranyaksha, he fought Lord Varaha, and Lord Varaha killed Hiranyaksha, and because of that, his brother Hiranyakashipu decided, I am so angry with this Lord Vishnu, I am going to kill him myself. But wherever Hiranyakashipu looked, he could not find Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu was thinking, oh my God, I'm not going to get any peace. Wherever I go, this guy's going to be chasing me. Where can I go that he won't find me? Lord Vishnu said, aha. Or as Indians say, acha. Did I say it right? Okay. So he said, I will enter his heart because he will never look for me there. So one time Hiranyakashipu inhaled, and Lord Vishnu entered Hiranyakashipu's nostril and hid himself in his heart. But although he could not find Lord Vishnu, still he wanted to cause so much disturbance and agitation. So Hiranyakashipu was torturing Brahmins and killing cows, and he made himself, because he got a benediction from Lord Brahma, that practically he was immortal, but not fully, but practically. He thought he had an ironclad contract with Lord Brahma, because he first asked me, Lord Brahma, make me immortal. Lord Brahma said, no, can't do that. I'm not immortal. How can I give you something I don't have? So then Hiranyakashipu said, okay, I don't want to die like this, like this, like this, like this. He gave a whole list of scenarios, and Lord Brahma said, tatastu, tatastu, so be it, so be it. So after so many things, Hiranyakashipu said, practically I am invincible, I am immortal. And so Hiranyakashipu was now ruler of the universe. But he had one son, Prahlada. And Prahlada was such a wonderful, saintly son by nature. When Prahlada was in the womb of his mother, Narada Muni instructed Prahlada in the womb of the mother, so that when Prahlada finally took birth, he was already self-realized and already a pure devotee, simply because Narada instructed the mother for some days. The mother did not learn much, but the child in the womb learned everything. So one day, the father said to the 5-year-old son, Prahlada, Prahlada, come sit on my lap, my son. And he smelled his head. I did that with my grandson. Nothing like smelling the head of your son or grandson. Words cannot describe. Anybody have that experience? I'm the only one? Yes. Yeah, you're doing it right now. It's nice, isn't it? Yes. Because of love. So Hiranyakashipu said, my son, I have put you in my University of Demonology. And I have my teachers, Shanda and Amarka. And I am expecting you to become like your father, first-class asura. Because all fathers are like that. They want their son to take on the family business. So, Prahlad, tell me what you're learning in school. And the young boy told his father, I'm not learning anything in your stupid school. You want me to become a materialistic demon? You're wasting your time. Because I have already learned from my guru, Narada Muni, Shravana Kirtana Smarana Vandana Pada Sevana Dasyare Pujana Sakijana Man Nivedana Kasabi Lashare. As far as I'm concerned, Tanmanyeditam Uttamam, the topmost education are these 9 processes of bhakti. Beginning with hearing and chanting, which we are doing. This is, you are hearing, I am chanting. This is the beginning of spiritual life. Hearing and chanting. So, when Hiranyakashipu heard from his own son, because he even used the word Vishnu when he was speaking, he couldn't believe it. His own son is on the side of his arch enemy, his rival Vishnu, threw him off his lap. And he told the teachers, something's going on here. I expect you to teach him properly. So they took the boy back to the school, chastised him, and they said to Prahlad, why are you getting us in trouble? Why are you acting like this? Prahlad did not change. When the teachers would go, Prabhupada said, tiffin hour, lunch, Prahlad would call his class friends, come. I'm going to teach you something really nice. So all the boys, they're innocent. They're only 5 years old. They're not hardcore demons yet. So Prahlad teaches them, I'm going to teach you something. Watch. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, everybody. And Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And the boys, they like it. Yeah, we like this. Tell us more. So Prahlad started to preach to his classmates, and he told them what he had learned in the womb of his mother. He taught them basic Bhagavad Gita. So it came time later, the father again called for Prahlad. Now sit on my lap. My teachers are telling me that you are now fully trained up. And again, Prahlad disappointed his father by pointing out the glories of Krishna consciousness. Hiranyakashipu now had enough. He said, take this son. He's no longer my son. I want him dead. I want him killed. So they tried so many ways to kill him. They put him in a big pot of boiling oil. Nothing happened. They threw him in a pit of snakes. Nothing happened. They threw him off a cliff. Nothing happened. They put him under the feet of an elephant. Nothing happened. They tried to poke him with spears. Nothing happened. Finally, Hiranyakashipu tried to poison him. So what did Prahlad do with the food? He offered it to Vishnu. He ate the poisoned food. It didn't act. Because as we learned from Bhagavad Gita, Kontaya pratijanahi name bhakta pranasyati. Krishna says, my devotee is never vanquished. And Prahlad is the best example of a devotee. So when everything failed, Hiranyakashipu now is really agitated. Prahlad, where do you get your powers to defy me? Don't you know who I am? I am the great Hiranyakashipu. Prahlad said, I only know one person, Vishnu, God. And Hiranyakashipu now became even Prahlada. There is no God. I am God. You should worship me. And Prahlada said, no, you are not God. So then Hiranyakashipu said, Prahlada, this God that you talk about, where is he? Oh, my father, he's everywhere. He's Vasudeva. He's all pervasive. Ah, Prahlada, you're just a 5-year-old boy. What do you know, all pervasive? Oh, Prahlada. All right, Prahlada, is he in this pillar? And Prahlada said, of course he's in the pillar. So then Hiranyakashipu said, now watch, Prahlada. I will kill your God, and then you will surrender to me, Hiranyakashipu. So Hiranyakashipu took his sword in his fist, and he struck the column. But when he struck the column, he heard a sound that he never heard before. And it was so loud and ominous. Hiranyakashipu is looking this way and that way. And then he sees the form, half man, half lion, and he's angry. And he's hissing. And so there's a fight between Hiranyakashipu and Lord Nrisingha. And it's explained that Lord Nrisingha was playing with Hiranyakashipu. Just like a snake plays with a mouse. The snake will swallow, let it go. Swallow, let it go. Swallow, and dies. So Nrisinghadev was playing with Hiranyakashipu because Nrisinghadev had to keep all the benedictions of Brahma in place. And Nrisinghadev was waiting for sunset dusk. And he took Hiranyakashipu and placed him on his lap. And he was in the doorway, not in, not out. He was on his lap, not in the sky, not in the land, not in the water. And how did he kill Hiranyakashipu? No weapons. His fingernails. If you're going to go fight a war, you're going to use your fingernails? No, but if you're Lord Nrisingha, yeah. Because Lord Nrisingha's fingernails are like thunderbolts. And he gouged out the insides of Hiranyakashipu, took the intestines and wrapped it around himself like a garland. And he threw, first he took, before throwing him off his lap, he took Hiranyakashipu's heart out of his body and threw it on the ground. And he was still roaring. And he threw Hiranyakashipu off his lap. Soldiers upon soldiers came trying to attack Nrisingha, and he assumed a huge form. And just with his nails, he killed all the soldiers. Then Lord Nrisingha was sitting on the throne, and he was still roaring. One after another, the devatas, the demigods came, offering prayers. He's still roaring. So Brahma tells Lakshmi, do something, you're his wife. She goes, oh, no. I've never seen him like this. I ain't going there. So Brahma pushes Prahlada, do something. Prahlada simply bows down to Lord Nrisingha. Now Lord Nrisingha stops his anger. And he puts his lotus hand on Prahlada's head. And the 5-year-old boy stands up and offers a stream of prayers. More than 40 prayers he offered. Nicely described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And Lord Nrisingha benedicts Prahlada. And I'm over time. I'm sorry. Let's end with a quick Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody! Premanande! So I bless you all, that you have a great week, that you remain in Krishna consciousness, and that you remain happy, healthy, wealthy, and in Krishna consciousness. And maybe I'll see you next month if you want. Okay, thank you very much. All glories to Shri